You can always count on two things happening at the MTV Video Music Awards: unique performances and memorable moments. Good, weird, and sometimes shady. Like this playful moment from Cardi B at the top of the show, which fans thought might have been a dig at Nicki Minaj's new album, Queen.
Welcome to New York, everybody. I am the Empress.
Travis Scott reminded us his album is at the top of the charts, a day after Nicki Minaj called him out on Twitter, claiming his album sales were boosted by his girlfriend, Kylie Jenner.
Astro World #1 right now.
Not only did Tiffany Haddish mispronounce Camila Cabello's name,
Camila Cabello. Camille Cabello.
she also threw shade at Camila's former band.
She's nominated for 5 VMAs tonight. So those of you watching at home, hi Fifth Harmony.
Oh, God.
Nicki Minaj clearly didn't love that joke.
Tiff, don't be coming for Fifth Harmony because Normani is that bitch.
Meanwhile, the Backstreet Boys presented the award for Song of the Year, and they put their own spin on some hip-hop hits.
Popping pills and now I feel just like a rock star.
It's a lot of bad things that they wishing and wishing and wishing on me.
Maluma ended his performance with a steamy kiss with one of his dancers. And speaking of Latin superstars, an eyewitness inside the event tells ET some fans were a bit confused that J-Lo's Video Vanguard Award was presented by Shawn Mendes, an artist that she's never worked with. The evening ended with Madonna paying tribute to the late Aretha Franklin, but some social media users found her speech puzzling.
You're probably all wondering why I'm telling you this story. There's a connection, because none of this would have happened, could have happened, without Our Lady of
Hello everybody, it is me, Demetra K, and I am sitting here with Donovan throwing rocks and hiding his hand Sadiq, and this is another great edition of Don't Believe the Hype, where we ask you to go below the surface to go find out the truth for yourself. Don't just believe what people tell you. As Donovan's great predecessor, Ronald Reagan, I said Donovan's, said trust but verify, right? So, thank you for being here to the podcast and to YouTube. So, we are going to start off with the VMAs, the Video Music Awards through, I think it's MTV. And that's a shame that I don't even know who exactly it's by, because I don't watch TV, and I will take it a step further and admit I did not watch the VMAs, but I did see things trending on my news feed and social media and stuff. And so I'll get right into it. As I said, the VMAs took place last night, where there were a whole host of stars and different people giving awards and tributes and things like that. And so to start it off, Black Twitter, yes, Black Twitter is actually a thing for people who don't believe that they are, took Madonna to task because the VMAs, for whatever reason, is still a mystery, as I was telling Donovan about it. He said Madonna, they asked Madonna to give a tribute to the late great now, Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin. And from what I understand, she stood on the stage for about 10 minutes or so, giving a personal story of how Aretha Franklin inspired her. Now, from what Black Twitter is saying, they said she spent most of that time talking about herself and not very much talking about the Queen of Soul. It sounds like she went to an audition or something back in the day and she sang Natural Woman, and so that's how she drew inspiration from Aretha Franklin and all this other stuff. But as I said, Black Twitter was mad with Madonna for that, and I guess rightfully so. But my thing is, are you really mad? Should you be mad with Madonna or the VMAs?
Right, because why would you even include go ahead.
But you know, but I guess too, maybe if I had to defend it a little bit, and I'm not trying to, but I think that kind of speaks to the broad reach that Aretha Franklin had on everybody. And it sounds like in Madonna's speech, she did tell people, everybody that was sitting there in the audience, you're here because of Aretha Franklin being such a trendsetter, blazing so many trails in, you know, the music industry because she could do it all. So
right. You remember that episode of it was in the School of Rock? Remember?
Honestly, I didn't see that movie.
Okay, well let's take a look at the clip and we'll get back to that. And in that part, everybody wants to party with Aretha.
Cause I'm fat.
Tamika. Hey, you've got something everybody wants. You've got talent, girl. You have an incredible singing voice, and I'm not just saying that. You heard of Aretha Franklin, right? Okay, she's a big lady, but when she starts singing, she blows people's minds. Everybody wants to party with Aretha. And, you know who else has a weight issue?
Who?
Me. But once I get up on stage, start doing my thing, people worship me because I'm sexy and chubby, man.
Why aren't you on a diet?
Because I like to eat. Is that such a crime?
Right, so that I didn't see the movie, but that, yes.
Everybody wanted to party with you.
So she knew everybody, and everybody was influenced by everybody. Even, I mean, I'm not in the music industry, you're not, but I'm sure you have an Aretha Franklin song, story, or something. And so, I mean, I guess I can understand why they use Madonna, but I don't understand why they didn't make it more of a, well, make it more about Aretha. But it sounds like Madonna was just up there freestyling, so I don't know if she was reading notes or what.
What's your favorite Aretha song, real quick?
Mine is probably Say a Little Prayer. I love the rendition that she did from the Malcolm X soundtrack of Someday We'll All Be Free. That was originally written by Donny Hathaway. That, like, you cannot listen to that song. I impress upon anybody to listen to that song, Someday We'll All Be Free by Aretha Franklin. The whole version, the 8-minute version, and not shed a tear. I listened to that song last week before she passed, and I was listening to it, and my daughter like, "You're tripping," because it's just a very emotional song. And for me, it was an emotional thing because it's like Donny Hathaway wrote that song in 1973 with hopes, because he's speaking to black people, that we would be free from the things, I'm assuming, from the things that oppressed us. You know, it was all, not to get off track here, also known that he would, you know, have some mental issues. He was schizophrenic, so maybe he was talking about himself as well. I don't know. But to think that that song was written 45 years ago, and here we are, still playing that as one day, y'all, we're going to be free. So that's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah,
but
my favorite is Who's Doing Who.
Yes, Al actually likes her faster stuff. Yeah, but I can't think of a bad song that Aretha did, just to be honest with you. So anyway, people are mad at Madonna because she did the tribute, which it sounded like it sucked. Didn't she also do the Prince tribute?
I think she did something for Prince.
Yeah, so it sounded like that sucked too. So anyway, I'll transition to Tiffany Haddish because I'm making a point here. So Tiffany Haddish was giving away that best video of the year, I think it was. Her and Kevin Hart, which I think you need like a Tylenol after watching them two together for a certain amount of time.
I stopped watching award shows about 30 years ago, seriously.
Yeah, I don't have TV, so I don't.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, I don't see the point. It's giving awards to themselves.
Well, it sounds like the whole ceremony sucked from what, you know, my assertion of what people were writing online and stuff. But so anyway, Tiffany and Kevin Hart were giving away an award to best video of the year. And so she's giving it to Camila Cabella, I think that's her name. I'm probably saying it wrong too. But she had the song called Havana. That was a pretty hot song a couple months ago. You probably heard it, just don't realize it.
No, I never heard of it.
So you probably actually haven't.
No, I don't.
And so Tiffany butchered her name, and so she kind of goes on saying, "Yeah, Camila Cabella, Camila," just kind of being a
ratchet,
ignorant, like willful.